Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Molecular Mysteries. Hope everyone is doing fine out there. So, without any further delay, let's get into the class. Good morning, students. Welcome back to my channel, Molecular Mysteries. In the last class, we have already discussed about the arterial system of heart, right? So, we are well aware of the structure, chambers, and how the blood flows and what makes the sound lub and dub. So, now in this class, I want to talk about the venous system. So, arterial system is the one which supplies the blood from the heart to the other body parts, but for the venous system they are called the collecting blood vessels, right? So they collect the blood from all the body parts and make it pump to the heart for the oxygenation, so that the oxygen blood is supplied to other body parts. So if you start discussing about the veins are the some or the blood vessels which are non-muscular. They are very thin. Okay, not compared to with arteries, the veins are more non-muscular and very thin. Okay, they have very large lumen. Okay, so now veins are meant for the collecting. That is why the veins starts with the capillaries. So capillaries are the smaller blood vessels. For each and every organ, the oxygen need to be supplied through blood. So for that to happen, these veins are further divided into capillaries, so that the veins would collect the blood from all the body parts. So without any further delay, let's start about the venous system of our body. So hope you're following the class regularly. I'm linking the arterial system and also the chambers of heart and how does the heart sound make. I will be linking in the description. Please go through it. Okay. So without further delay, let's start the class. So this is the heart that I talked about, the lub and dub sounds. Okay. Now, so let's talk about the veins. I told you that they start with the capillaries, and the walls of veins are very thin and they're non-muscular. Each and wall of veins are made of three important parts made up of tunica externa, tunica media, and tunica interna. Okay, and now, so this venous system in humans is mainly divided into three important parts. They are system of vena cava, hepatic portal system, and the pulmonary system. So now let's go in detail about the vena cava system, the hepatic portal system, and the pulmonary system. This vena cava system is again divided into the precaval veins and the postcaval veins. So you should be well aware what are precaval and postcaval, right? So let's talk about the system of vena cava. This precaval veins, there are two precaval veins present which will enter into the right auricle of your heart, right? These precaval veins are also called as the anterior vena cava because they collect the blood from the anterior part of your body. That could be the muscles of your tongue, that could be jaws, even the brain muscles at your back. So everything will be collected by the two precaval veins that enter into the right auricle. Okay, and the one postcaval vein that is present would go down so that it would collect the blood from the thigh, abdominal muscles, limbs, and etc. Okay, now let's start in detail about the two precaval veins. They are also called the anterior vena cava, and the postcaval veins are called posterior vena cava. Okay, now let's start with the precaval veins. So I told you the precaval veins are again of two in number. They are left precaval vein and right precaval vein. So we don't get confused. Precaval veins are actually two in number, and each precaval vein is again divided into left precaval vein and right precaval vein, so that it connects the left part of your body. So, and these left precaval and right precaval is again divided into external jugular vein, which would collect the blood from the jaws, muscles, tongue, and parts of your head. Okay, and the internal jugular vein that collects the blood from the brain and the muscles of neck. And this subclavian vein is something important which is present only in the right precaval vein. The left precaval subclavian vein is absent in humans. Okay, so this subclavian vein is again divided into the further parts, like, right, this is called the subclavian vein. This subclavian vein is actually meant for the collecting of bloods from the limbs and the shoulders. Okay, so forelimbs, you all know that, like it could be the wrist, it could be the fingers, it could be the arms. These are all the forelimbs, right? So this subclavian vein is meant for collecting the blood from your forelimbs and the shoulder. I told you there is no left subclavian vein, so only the right precaval vein would be separated into subclavian vein, forming the anterior intercostal vein and azygous cardinal vein. These are two important veins that move or that collect the blood from your anterior intercostal spaces, and the azygous cardinal vein would be collecting the blood from the posterior intercostal spaces. Okay, so this is how the subclavian vein of the precalvar vein is divided. So here if you notice it, so the red one is the arteries and the blue one is the veins. They are meant to collecting blood. Okay. Okay, next go for the important part called the postcaval vein. So I told you the postcaval vein will be, running through your abdominal part towards the limbs, so that it connects the blood from the lower parts of your body, right? So these postcaval veins would be collecting from the lower limbs and the parts of your abdomen. I told you lower limbs includes all the knees, all the toes, thighs, abdomen muscles and all. Okay, so and this postcaval vein is again divided into external iliac veins, which collects the blood from the abdomen wall, urinary bladder, uterus and the thighs. Okay, these are external iliac veins. And the internal iliac veins would be collecting the blood from the pelvis and unite to form a hypogastric vein. Okay, this is one important vein called hypogastric vein. Okay, so if you comparatively see that the red one is the artery, right? So you know that arteries are the one which would pump the blood. So it should be having high muscularity, like they are high muscular and they are very thick than compared to the veins. That is why you can see the arteries are much thicker than the veins. Veins are a little thinner and they are non-muscular. Okay. So now next comes the other parts of your hypogastric vein. Okay. Now let's talk about the Okay, now let's talk about the pair of iliolumbar veins. So they are iliolumbar veins which would collect blood from the back muscles. Okay, and pair of gonadial veins. So you know that there are spermatic gonads, gonadial vein and ovarian vein. Okay, these are all the gonadial veins which collect blood from your respective gonads, males and females. And pair of renal veins, name itself says that blood collects from the kidneys. So hepatic veins, you know that the blood would be collected from the liver. And you have phrenic veins which would be collecting from the diaphragm, you know that, right. And now let's go for the hepatic system. These are all coming under the system of vena cava. So I've covered the precaval veins and the postcaval veins. Now let's talk about the hepatic vein. Now, so let's talk about the hepatic vein. So which is nothing but the hepatogastric, right? So this hepatic portal vein would be covering the whole part of your abdomen, like it would be digestion or it could be the complete parts of your digestion, whichever the parts are included. So this hepatic portal vein would be again divided into lienogastric vein, which would collect the blood from the stomach and the spleen. Okay, and duodenal vein which would collect blood from the duodenum and the pancreas. The anterior mesenteric vein which collects the blood from the ileum. See, ileum, cecum and colon, they are all coming under the intestinal names. Okay, and the posterior mesenteric vein, they collect from blood from the rectum and anus. Okay, these are all the parts of your large intestine. Okay, ileum, cecum and colon. Anyway, in the part of your digestion part, I would be covering all these things. Okay, these are all the mesenteric veins, anterior mesenteric and the posterior mesenteric would be collecting blood from the whole gastric part, whole digestive part of your system. Okay, please be aware of it. So these are all the hepatic portal system. So hope you are clear with the hepatic portal system and the system of vena cava. Now you are just remained with the pulmonary thing. So pulmonary thing or pulmonary system is the one which have a pair of pulmonary veins that would carry the oxygenated blood from the lungs to the left auricle. So if you be aware of it, see, these are all the only thing or only veins that carry the oxygenated blood, because see, the blood that is coming from the lungs to the auricle is mainly through the pulmonary vein. So in the last class I have covered that there are a pair of pulmonary veins which would be collecting the oxygenated blood from the lungs to the left auricle, so that it enters into left ventricle, and from the left ventricle through the systemic aorta it enters through your all over the parts of your body. So that is why this is the only one which carries the oxygenated blood from the lungs to the left auricle. I'm clear with the arterial system, venous system, and also the structure of heart and all the chambers in the heart and how does the heart sound make. So adding the important links regarding the topic in description box, please go through it. Okay, so in the coming classes I will also discuss about the other important systems like endocrinology, excretory system. We have many things, even nervous system, so we have lot of things in and human physiology. Let's go into detail in. So hope you like the class. Subscribe and like my channel. Thank you. See you in the next class. Until then, stay positive, stay healthy, and be kind to everyone. Thank you. Bye bye.